Hello and welcome to another numbers edition of Apple a Day. In this episode, I'm continuing my series on date and time functions, and today I'll be covering month, month name, and year. This should be a quick video as these are all very basic functions. So let's jump right in. As you can see, I've got a blank numbers document already open. We're going to start with the month function. All this does is return the month portion of a provided date as a number, 1 through 12. Let me demonstrate. I'll just pick a random cell and type in the equal sign to bring up the formula editor. And here I'll type in month and press return. And as you can see, it takes a single parameter, which is the date. So I will just type in October 31st, 2023. Notice that's in quotes, because if I didn't put it in quotes, it would think I was dividing 10 by 31. It takes that forward slash as a division. And if I used a dash, it would take the hyphen as a minus sign. So you have to put a date in quotes when you're entering it directly. I'll just press return, and that gives me the number 10. 10 for the month of October. You can also use the today function in place of a specific date. Today, as you can guess, returns the current date. So let's try this here. Equals, to bring up the formula editor, I'll type in month and press return. And instead of typing in a date, I'm going to type in the today function and press return again. Notice that the today function doesn't take any parameters. It's just the word today. I'm just going to press return again to see the results. And it gives me 1, which is correct because I'm recording this in January. So 1, of course, is the month of January. So that can be useful if you ever need to know the current month in a numerical form. Moving on to month name, this simply returns the name of the month from a specified month number. Let's try it. In a new cell, I'll type in the equal sign again and type in month name and press return. So here you can see it's expecting a month number, not a date. I'll type in the number 11, and that should display the word November, which it does. November, of course, being the 11th month. But what if we wanted to display the current month name? Let's try that. So I'll do equals, month name, and here I'll type in the today function for today's date and press return, and return again to close the editor, and I get an error. If I click on the error, it tells me that the function month name expects a number, but it found a date instead. So in order to get the month name from the current month, we can use 3 functions in one, and I'll show you how. Let's just delete that, create a new formula, type in month name again, and return. And then here I'm going to use the month function because month name is expecting a number, so we're going to give it a number by using the month function. So I'll press return again, and the month function is expecting a date. So here I'll type in the function today, which returns the current date, and I'll press return. So before I close this, I'm just going to go over this one more time to show you how we're embedding the functions. Month name is using the month number returned by the month function, and in turn it's using the today function as the date from which it returns the month. Describing it makes it sound a lot more complicated than it really is. I mean, visually it's simple. Month name gets the month from today. I could have just said that. Anyway, if I press return now, that should give me the month of January spelled out. And it does. So that's also a good example of using several nested functions. So that's it for month name. Let's move on to the year function. This is pretty much the same as the month function, except it obviously pulls the year from the given date. I'll add a new formula here and type in the word year and return. And just like the month function, it takes a single date parameter. I'll type in the function today and press return. And again, and that gives us 2024, which is the current year. You can also, of course, use dates entered in other cells as the source date for the month and year functions. I've got another sheet here, which has some dates already entered in. And I've got some columns, month, year, and month name. And under the month column, I'll add a formula, type in equals, type in the function month, and press return. And for date, I'm going to select the first date in this list and press return. And that gives us a 3 for the month of March. Pretty straightforward. So let's take this formula and copy it with Command C and paste it into each cell underneath. And you can see it's giving me the month of each one of these dates. Let's do year the same way. Press equals, type in year, press return, and choose the first date, and press return again, and I get 2020. Now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it, but this time I'm going to click and drag so I don't have to paste it each time. And that will select a range of cells. If I press Command V to paste, it'll put this formula into each one of the selected cells. Okay, last one, month name. Type in equals month name and return. Now remember, I can't just pick a date here. I could just use the results of this month function right here, but let's do it inline and make them nested functions. So I'll type in the month function here, month, and press return again. And then I will pick the date up and press return one more time to close it. And you see that I get March. And if I copy this and paste it, it'll show me the month for each one of these dates. Now, just to be thorough, let's do this one more time and type in month name again. And this time I'll just use the month number like I suggested previously. Copy it, select the range, paste, and it gives me the same results. If I change any one of these values, let's change this to 05, 22, 24, and I press return, you should see all of these values change. This should change to 5, this should change to 2024, and these two cells should change to May. And they do. Okay, so that wraps it up for month, month name, and year, some of the more basic date and time functions in Apple numbers. Thank you, as always, for watching. My name is John Martins. Please take the time to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Apple a Day.